Hey, welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now, more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Now, if you've been watching Capital Talk all this week, you know we've been doing what we've been calling firsts. And what a lineup we've had all week long. I tell you, what guests we've had. And we're continuing on because my guest today is a first of sorts. I tell you, she was well on her way on an upward trajectory in music because she knew this is what she wanted to do from day one. That's right. Grew up playing the piano, was gifted, and then she started singing and released her first album and was on an upward trajectory. Her first album, Somin, was hot. She was hot. She was being touted as the next best thing. And then, devastating period. Someone, a hater, you name it, whatever it is, decided to post some pictures of her on the internet. And I tell you, life took a tumble all the way to rock bottom. But here's the catch. She didn't give up. She dusted herself off, she got up, and she started walking. Went away to the States for a little while, came back, and it's continued performing. Second album is on its way. She's calling it The Naked Truth Is. In the meantime, she's going back to America for a couple of years to continue where she left off her musical career. She's going to a very prestigious academy in New York called the American Dramatic Musical Academy. Musical Dramatic Academy. There you go. I'll get it one day. She wants to continue her career. She says her dream is to perform at the next World Cup. Wow. I tell you, she's only 26 years old. And young ladies, if you're watching, watch and learn, because this young lady never gave up. It's not in her vocabulary. Failure does not exist. She's going all the way. Watch this space. She grew up merely as Karen Lucas. You know her better, simply as Kaz.
Thank you for having me.
Kaz. On the bench.
I know.
Huh?
I know.
It's been tough getting you on. You're a busy woman.
I am. Very busy, Jeff. Very busy. Things to do. People to see.
Let's go back. Before we get to the pictures, because I'm sure everybody wants to know about those pictures, but you knew you were destined for this, didn't you?
I did. I always wanted to sing. I was in the choir in prep school. I used to put my dad's big headphones and listen to like Mariah Carey. Yeah, that's how young I am.
Jeez.
And just sing along. And I always wanted to be a singer, but I really wasn't that good of a singer when I wanted to be a singer. It's something that I've had to work on. So I started when I was little. I was in the school choir. And then when I was maybe around 14 years old, that's when I actually came out. That's when I broke into the music industry at 14 years old.
Were you a hit? I mean, did whoever recognized you, did they see you and say, this one is good?
You know who it was?
Tell me.
Coolio.
Coolio?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I first came out when I was 14 years old on a stage in front of 10,000 people. And it was a rapping competition that Coolio had when he was here in Kenya.
Yeah, I covered him in like 97, 98 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually went for his first, he had two concerts in Nairobi, one at KICC and one at Carnival. I went for the first one and I was standing right at the back. So when he said, we're gonna have a rapping competition, can somebody please, we're trying to get people up on stage, and I was at the back, so he didn't see me. So I went for the show the next day and I stood right at the front of the stage.
So he could see you.
And before he even asked, he's like, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I was like, me, this 14-year-old girl, I was like, me.
And you got on stage?
I did. He's like, girl, calm down. And they pulled me on. It was the most amazing thing. They pulled me on stage. Little 14-year-old girl. And I broke into music industry rapping. I wasn't singing because I was a good rapper. I really was. I still am.
Go on. What did you rap that day?
I had written a song maybe like 2 weeks before that, and it was the first song that I ever wrote. And it was like fate, because he came and he wanted to do a rapping competition, and I was like, I just written a song. How like perfect is that? And I then recorded it maybe a few months later with Ted Josiah. It was the first song that I released when I was 15 years old.
How does it go?
It was called KAZ. And the chorus went something like this. Who we representing, KAZ. And then there was a little hip hop part, hit me when you represent the KAZ. And I'm like 15 years old.
Wow.
I heard the song. I was doing an interview on radio a couple of months ago, a week ago, and they played the song, and I was like, oh, it's really embarrassing, because yeah. But I mean, it's been good. My parents really supported me when I was 14 and 15, breaking into the industry.
But Somin came in later on, right?
Came in a
So
lot
now
later.
you were hot. I mean, people knew you. You were a big name.
People started knowing me after Project Fame, after I came back from South Africa.
Yeah.
Even though the press had been writing about me before, because I had released a couple of songs. I had done collabos with Red Sun, and I was doing plays at Phoenix. So people would write about that, but just a little here and there. And then people started really writing about me when I came back from South Africa.
How well did you do at Project Fame?
Well, I did all right. I mean, I could have done a lot better, but my eye wasn't really on the prize. I was just happy to be there. And I remember making bets with my dad, and I used to tell him, so Dad, if I make it through the first week, can I get a car? He's like, we'll see. But I made it all the way. I think there was 2 weeks left in the competition when I
It's not bad.
yeah. So I came home for a week, and then I went back for the grand finale.
Was that a good learning experience?
It was. There's a lot of things that I apply today, in how to take press interviews, how to answer questions.
They're coming.
I know how to answer them, Jeff.
Right. Okay, Mziki, right, was the big hit.
It was the first song of the album. I actually released an EP before I released the album. So the EP had 4 tracks, and that's what I sent to South Africa for Cora.
Yeah. And you were voted most promising.
I was nominated Most Promising Female Artist in Africa, and then I won.
Was that good?
So I was no longer a nominee.
No,
I was
you're a winner.
actually a winner.
Were you there for that?
I was in Durban.
What was that like?
It was not a very good experience, I have to be honest. It was kind of like the beginning of the downfall of the Cora Awards. And we didn't get treated very well.
But you were recognized at least, Cass.
Yeah, but I mean, people still go, you won a Cora? I'm like, everybody knows everybody else that won a Cora. I'm like, yes, I won a Cora.
Okay. And Kisima as well.
And Kassim as well, in the same year, actually. It was a really bad year for me, but surprisingly, I won 2 awards. I'm like, you see what happens?
Yeah. And then the pictures.
Yeah, and then I...
Was that year?
No, it was 2 years after, a year after that.
What happened? Because I wasn't in this country, and I heard about it much later on.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I had just released my album in September.
So many.
Yes. And a month to the day of the release of my album. My album came out September the 13th, and then the pictures came out October the 13th.
And it was pictures of you on the net
Yeah.
in various positions.
Yeah.
Were they hot?
Jeff.
Was it a bunch of them?
Behave.
Was it?
There was like 20 of them.
Oh my.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first either heard about it or
When I first heard about it, I actually woke up in the morning, and a friend of mine called me, and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm home." He goes, "Okay, don't move, I'm coming." And then he came to my house with his laptop, and he opened it. He's like, "Okay, sit down, breathe." And then he showed me. I was like, oh my God. And my cousin was there, Wanuri.
Yes.
And so she really is the one she helped me go through that. The next week, I was a mess. I was a complete mess. Like I wasn't eating, I was self-destructive.
Did you think your whole world had come crashing down?
I did. I mean, I didn't want to leave the house because I really felt naked. Like I felt like I was walking around the streets of Nairobi without clothes on, and because everybody would be looking at me like, you know?
I've seen you.
Yeah. So I had nothing to hide almost. So I mean, I really didn't leave the house literally for 2 or 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. It was self-destruct mode. It was horrible.
And this was just some hater out there, someone who just decided, I mean, it's not even a prank, because a prank you can get over, but this was...
And this is something that's following me this is something that's going to follow me for the rest of my life. I mean, as much as I like to say, okay, it's been 2 years, it's gone away. It doesn't go away, because every so often something will float to the surface. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you take it very well, Kaz. I'm very surprised that you've really come out of it. You've come to terms with it.
Well, you have to. You can't sit and mope, you know? I mean, there's a saying, worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. And that's pretty much what it is. I mean, you're surrounding yourself with a lot of negativity, and the more you do that, the more negativity you attract into your life. Why would anyone want to do that?
Did you think your career was over because of this?
Yeah, and it was for a while, because I wasn't getting any work, and my album had just come out and it was hot, and I was hot, and I was booked for like a year after that. So it was great, and then it was a wrap.
And people wouldn't take your calls?
People? No, I mean, I wasn't trying to call anyone.
No, not people, but gigs.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember once there's a fellow musician who got a show, and she was asked to perform alongside somebody else, and her and I always performed together. And she's like, oh, perfect, I can do this gig with Kaz. And they were like, see, it's a kids event. We can't really have Kaz. Like, I'm like, people really think I'm going to come and take off my clothes on stage? Like, seriously?
Yeah. What did your parents think?
My parents were so supportive. Oh, my parents were amazing. And what happened was, maybe a month after the pictures came out, I wrote a letter which I then forwarded to everybody, and I said, please forward this email. And it just basically said, if you received the pictures, please, just delete them. We're devastated as a family, and I'm going through some really rough times. So I just rather you didn't forward them, because everybody was receiving them and forwarding them, and that's how they went around. And so, yeah, when I did that, like, my dad was like, okay, you really shouldn't have. But my mom is always very supportive. I mean, she's really supportive of everything that I do. That is one resilient woman. She'll support any decision that I make. She's like, you do you, you know?
But looking back, Kaz, was that a dumb thing to do on your part?
The letter?
No, the pictures.
Jeff, that's a tough question. I think what two people do intimately in a room has nothing to do with anyone else. Whatever it is that you and your partner choose to do behind closed doors is really what you and your partner choose to do. Now, when it gets out, that's where the dumbness comes in. Yeah. But I mean, I was young, and maybe some parts of some of the things that I did were stupid, but this is something intimate that I chose to share with my partner. And it's just really that simple.
But 2 years later, Kaz, it looks like that event, that incident has helped you get to where you are now.
It has.
You're a stronger person.
I am. And really, really, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It's true. And it's easier to say when there's a situation in life that's not bugging you or bringing you down. But really, if it doesn't kill you, because I did hit rock bottom. And if it doesn't kill you, then it does make you stronger.
And it didn't discourage you in this business, because you still want to be the best that you can be.
I do. And I still am going to be the best that I can be. Yeah.
Doing what?
Music, theater, film, entertainment.
You want to do all that?
Entertainment.
And you think you can make it? You think you can be Shakira? Can you be Beyonce?
I know, Jeff. If I lived thinking things, then I don't think I'd get very far. But I'm convinced of I'm convinced of the talent that I possess. I'm convinced of my charisma, and I know that I will make it. I know that I will. So I just need to continue in my path to get to where I know that I'm supposed to be.
And the first step is the American Music and Drama, whatever.
The American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
That's apparently that's a really prestigious institution.
It's a school that a lot of the people that you see, in TV shows and in movies. There's a whole bunch of people that I could list who have been to AMDA.
Well, why don't you hold that thought and list a couple of them, and we'll talk about it after the break. And also, that World Cup in 2014 in
Absolutely.
Rio. You want to be there.
I
You're
will.
determined. This is your goal.
That's what I'm working towards.
And also advice for young ladies I know out there, some of whom have been devastated by something a lot less than what happened to you. How do you dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and move on? But first, we'll take a break. Kaz, I tell you, she's tough. Tough cookie at 26. Dusted herself off and walked on and is walking. And says she still is going to be the best that she can be. A lot better than she was at the height of her career. She says it's a rebirth. Second album is coming out soon. It's called The Naked Truth Is. Kaz. Wow. Don't even think of going away. The bench is back in a moment. And welcome back to Capital Talk. What a week it's been on the bench. First, and I tell you, this young lady, young, tough, smart, beautiful, brilliant, well on her way to becoming even bigger and better. She's off to New York to a very prestigious music and drama academy where the best of the best have gone because she wants to be the best of the best. One word. Kaz. Who called you Kaz? Where'd you get that name? You were Karen Lucas.
I was until third grade in school. And my math teacher called me Kaz. And that's because there was a Karen and another Karen and there was a Karen. And we were all in the same class and he used to get confused. So there was a girl that was called Kaz and then he called me Kazi and then he called the other girl Kezi. I mean, yeah.
Isn't that confusing enough?
I know, like really.
So you were Kazi.
Stop it. I was not. Hence why I dropped the Y. Because I was like, hey, I'm not going to have people calling me Kazi.
Yeah. Kazi ni Kazi.
Even though people still do. And people ask me, Unai Tarani? I say Kazi.
You can't just get rid of it.
No.
But Kaz stuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, it then became bigger when I did the Coolio concert. And Coolio goes, so what do they call you? And I said Kaz. And then that's just like how I got my name and how I became Kaz.
So you're gonna be one name. Madonna,
Yeah.
Shakira,
Yeah.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
Kaz.
I like it. I like that.
The comparison.
Yes.
This academy you're going to, who's been there? I mean, what kind of people go through that?
I did say I had a whole list, didn't I?
I mean, like big names, right? Big names.
Yeah. If you watch The Modern Family, do you know the show The Modern Family?
No.
It's okay, Jeff. There's a redhead guy who plays a gay. There's a gay couple, and the redhead guy.
Okay.
His name is Jesse Tyler or something, and he was in AMDA. He actually just left AMDA. So yeah, there's a whole list of people. A lot of the people who actually, you know what the great thing about AMDA is? The people who are going to be my teachers are producers of Broadway shows. And basically what it is, it's a 2-year crash course to Broadway. So in 2 years, I'll say 2.5, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to be on Broadway.
You.
Me.
Performing.
Kaz.
Performing.
Yes.
That's your goal.
That is my goal.
Before the World Cup.
Before the World Cup, because that's what's going to take me to the World Cup.
You know, there's a great deal, ideals and visions and dreams, Kaz. But what if it doesn't happen? You have to tell yourself, what if?
And then live with that, like live with what ifs. Why should I? When my dreams and my thoughts are more positive than the what ifs, why would I want to add a what if to my situation? Everything I've ever wanted has come to pass. So there is consistency in my dreams.
And on Broadway, you want to sing, you want to act, you want to
I'm
do the
going
whole...
to do theater, musical theater, which is what I'm studying in school.
Like The Lion King or,
Yeah.
Fella or...
Yeah.
The Naked Truth Is
The Naked Truth Is.
your second album. Why that name?
You're going to
Other
say
than-
my naked album.
Even I get confused.
I know.
Even the bench gets
It
confused.
seems.
The Naked Album is...
Well. The Naked Truth Is, I'm in the process. I'm more than halfway done. I released my first song already. I'm about to shoot the video for that.
What's it called?
Run, Run, Run.
Good?
Hot!
Is it playing?
Yeah, it is.
Is it smoking?
Sana.
And then what? While you're in school?
I haven't really figured it all out yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But I really want to take time with this album because I know that for the first album, everyone was like, when's your album coming out? And I really rushed. And the product is not particularly exactly what I wanted it to be. But then again, I'm a perfectionist, so nothing really ever is. But I really want it to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the songs are written, actually. The songs for the album are written. It's just the recording process that's taking a bit longer. And it's because I'm looking for the perfect producer. Yeah.
2014, Rio de Janeiro. I mean, you just saw Waka Waka and Shakira, and she was smoking. And it's not even her song.
I know.
It's a whatever. She reworked a West African song, and she is smoking.
She is. But even Koinange with his...
The Coca-Cola thing.
Yeah.
That's very good.
And he's one of ours, you know, he's East
Somali.
African. Yeah.
So you can do it.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, it's not that crazy. It's really not that far away. Everybody, like, my dreams are big. And they were a lot more far-fetched 10 years ago. But now, having been in the US and having interacted with some of these producers and knowing how the artists work and how they live, it's really not that far away. It really isn't. So it's not like crazy, like, oh, OMG, she's going to perform in 2014.
4 years from now.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a 4-year plan. And it's a 4-year plan that I have to work really hard to. Yeah.
You watched the opening ceremony.
I did. In tears. I was like, why isn't one of ours there, you know? It was really, why aren't I there? Yeah. But it's possible.
You're determined to make it out there, aren't you?
I am. That's what I'm going to do.
And you're ready. Well, you've already faced one disappointment and you've gone out of that. So
not only one, Jeff. I mean, life is full of disappointments. You really have to jump over these hurdles because the hurdles get higher and higher. But then your muscles get stronger and stronger, so you can jump over. God never gives you problems that you can't handle.
no doubt.
That's just life. I mean, that was one that was public that everybody knows.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that I've had to deal with, so many things I've had to face, so many fears I've had to overcome.
I saw you at Carnival performing at the Hemophilia Society the other day, and you were great, by the way. You had the crowd on its feet. Do you still find, do you look at people and they're looking at you and they're saying, I've seen you naked?
No, not anymore. Not so much anymore. I feel like people have either forgotten or chosen not to talk about it. Yeah, it was like that when I first doing shows before, like just maybe a little bit after, when I did one-off shows. Then I was scared. Yeah, but not anymore. Now I'm confident.
What do you tell young ladies out there who are watching you right now and they've faced a lot of adversity, challenges, letdowns, devastation, and don't know how to pick up and move on? What do you tell them at your tender age of 26?
Well, for starters, you really have to give yourself a mourning period. Yeah, I mean, but then don't get lost into it. But you really need to emotionally just get rid of all that baggage. Just cry, really. But then once you're done with that, don't sit around and mope. And I think moping is also attention seeking. This world is not going to have you spoon-fed. You need to pick up, dust your shoulder, and move on, really.
But in this country, there's still, a lot of haters out there. And people will
Not
pull
just
you
this
down.
country, Jeff. The world. There's 6.8 billion people.
Thank you.
And a lot of them are haters. It's not just Kenya. There's people, I mean, I had mad drama when I was in the US. Mad haters. Mad.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they do?
I had, it's so funny, when I was in Atlanta, I had a crazy stalker person. I did.
A stalker?
Yeah.
And?
I actually filed for a restraining order.
No. Because this person was in your business.
Yeah, mad. Crazy.
Everywhere you went, he was there.
She.
She.
Yeah. It was really, she would threaten to, she used to send text messages threatening to deport me, threatening to, like, I think she even knew where I was staying because it was just really absolutely crazy. she opened a Facebook page and she wanted to repost my pictures. She did that. She opened a Facebook page. Yeah. So it's funny, like I had people who were online like, Kaz, well, there's a page on Facebook like that. So I was like constantly reporting things to Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met some crazy people in my life. I have.
There's some crazy people out there.
There are.
But you learn to, is it a thick skin? Is that what you have, or you just...
I really don't think so. I may seem a tough cookie on the outside, but I'm really very sensitive. And I really have to go into my cave, into my dungeon, and shed a few tears before I can actually come out and face the world. I don't deal with situations like this the way I am. I'm not like this. I'm very sensitive. I'm very soft. But I think I give out the wrong impression. Not wrong, but I think I give out a different impression. And I think everybody just thinks I'm this macho woman who walks around town. Yeah.
Your dad is one of your biggest fans.
He's the biggest fan.
He doesn't miss a concert.
My mom.
She's bigger.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my parents, give thanks. I'm so grateful every single day for my parents. I have the most amazing parents in the world. I do.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Mothers. Cass, all the best. Good luck in New York.
Thank you.
Good luck at the World Cup in 2014.
Thank you.
Good luck on Broadway.
Thank you.
You're a strong cookie. Well done. Well done. Cass, one word, and she's done well. She's done really well. She's come out of a potentially devastating situation, dusted herself off, walked on, and now the sky is the limit. She's off to AMDA in New York and on Broadway, and maybe even the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. Stay tuned, as they say. Watch this space, because Kaz is on her way to the top. What a guest, what a show, what a week it's been on the bench. You simply cannot find these kinds of guests anywhere else but right here on the bench, on the award-winning station, K24, where as always, we are, even in times of Kaz, all Kenyan.
All that time.
Oh my. Oh my. Capital Talk is recorded at the Fairview Hotel, the country hotel in town.